Time check is just approaching 15 minutes after 1 here on Joy 99.7 FM. We are still celebrating 25 years of broadcasting, 25 years of impacting lives, and 25 years of media excellence. Hello, this is the Joy Sports Track. I'm Gary Al Smith, and today... Following from the discussion with Godwin Atram on the Joy Sports Link on Saturday, there was a bit of talk about Kwesi Appiah and his outstanding salary. You would recall that about a fortnight ago, our team was one of the first to put out the news that Kwesi Appiah's arrears were captured in the GFA's legacy, the so-called legacy document. Detail how much he was owed, and we established it was about $185,000 for certain number of games and bonuses. And then we later heard from the man himself, imputing that he had been disrespected and also threatening through his personal assistant, if I can call him that he would go to FIFA if the arrears were not settled. But he declined, or he denied actually, saying that he was going to court. As it stands now, there seems to be a bit of impasse because the personal assistant to the sports minister, Kofi Asare-Brako, has been making the rounds on the media. He spoke to our sister station in Shira FM, where he made some interesting claims. The quotes have been flying around, but essentially, the crux of the quote was that he said if Kwesi Appiah went to FIFA or goes to FIFA to try and force the country to pay his money, then Kwesi Appiah is being ungrateful. And that he should remember what Ghana has done for him. There's been a bit of back and forth and some banter, and we just try and establish a few things about, the way we treat our coaches. Siki Akono has recently signed a new deal. Would that happen to him as well? We'll be here to talk about that and also to preview tomorrow's PM Express that takes place on the Joy News channel at 9 p.m. So stay with us from now until 0244-340437. Lots of you have heard about the issues involving Kwesi Appiah and have been having your say. Please, if you feel strongly about it, let's know. The views have been, I think I can divide them into three. Some of you have said that, he's owed money, pay him. Some have also said that, he didn't meet the expectations that were required of him, and so he should forfeit the money. I don't know how that works, but some of you feel that way. We try and look at it, myself and the team here. Stay with us. In studio with me, Muftau Nabila Abdullahi and George Adu Jr. Hello, guys. Hello, Muftau.
Hi, Gary.
How are you doing? How was your weekend?
It was good. A good one.
Okay. Are you still fasting?
Yes. Today is the 25th day.
Oh, you've got about 5 days to go?
We've got 5 days more to go.
George.
Yeah.
Is your stomach ready?
Yeah, my stomach is ready. Obviously,
you should start deworming now.
Because we don't have.
If you take dewormer on the Monday, by Friday, then everything has settled.
Everything has settled, and of course, because we don't have.
When is the holiday?
That should be Monday, on a Monday. Yeah.
Next week Monday.
Yes.
It's not Friday.
No.
No. That's so bad. But no, next week Monday is the holiday.
It's a holiday.
Oh no, that's great.
For
long Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Oh my
God. And I like the role Muftau is playing because Ridwan normally will be the resident chef, and this time
distributor of meat.
Of meat, and Ridwan did a good job with that.
Muftau, how heavy are you?
I'm a lightweight champion.
Then this one is Muftau will give us 1,000 instead of giving us proper cow meat.
From Bangkok before you come at the
cow. Because Muftau, if you are lightweight,
so that day what?
And
since it's even going to be Monday is going to be a holiday, which will by that time.
In fact, we can make ourselves available on Sunday. No problem.
No problem. Or we can have a balance brought forward on Sunday, and then
maybe.
Or we can backdate the check to Tuesday.
Yeah, let's backdate it.
We are ready.
Backdating will be perfect.
Okay.
Now,
speaking of backdating, it seems like Kwesi Appiah is not in the mood to do any of that, where his money is concerned. You know.
Gary, would you be willing to do that?
I mean, some people have done it for nationalistic reasons, for patriotic reasons. They'll dash their money to Ghana. But what I want us to focus on is that we know the story. But what about the backstories there? Because we know Kwesi Appiah not to be the confrontational
kind of a person,
litigant type. What has changed? Why is he going so hard at the authorities for his money? Is there a backstory? I hear there is.
There is a backstory, actually.
Now give us
a big one for that matter. You would recall that somewhere February, we were here on a Monday when I mentioned that he had written to the Ghana Football Association demanding his money. This was somewhere February, March. And when he sent them that letter, it was because the GFA had written to him and given him 10 days to return all the things that they gave him to aid his work as coach of the senior national team. So when that happened, the FA referred to the contract they signed with Kwesi Appiah. So his lawyers also decided to refer to the same contract and indicate that you've not paid him since August 2019. The reasons given then by the Ministry of Youth and Sports was that the accounts were garnished by court, so they couldn't make payments. One interesting thing is that when the letter was sent to the Ghana Football Association, they did not respond to the letter. They rather forwarded it to the Ministry of Youth and Sports. Kwesi Appiah decided to send a second letter in April. That letter is yet to be responded, either by the Ministry, either by the Ministry of Youth and Sports or the Ghana Football Association. As you and I speak, a letter is currently being drafted to be sent to the Ghana Football Association, and that is going to be the third letter asking for the money. So that letter should be delivered to the corridors of the GFA by the close of week. Kwesi Appiah is making efforts to get his monies because neither the Ghana Football Association or the Ministry of Youth and Sports have called him to have a conversation about how they are going to pay him. And he feels that's disrespectful because if you and I have a binding contract and there were terms and conditions about that contract, and he was supposed to take his monies from the Ministry of Youth and Sports. Let's also note that the engagement was between him and the Ghana Football Association. Per our understanding of the situation, when the contract was signed in 2017, the Ghana Football Association had indicated to Kwesi Appiah that the Ministry of Youth and Sports have agreed to pay you. So every blessed might take your money from the ministry. Because GMPC, who were sponsors of the Black Stars, had stated that they were not going to give the $3 million they were giving to the Ghana Football Association, $3 million a year. They were not going to give it to the FA again. They were going to spread it to other sporting federations and other corporate responsibilities. So there was an agreement that they would take part of that money to pay. One thing that also asked Kwesi Appiah much is that when he was at Sudan, we were made to understand that he was earning $40,000. So if he was earning $40,000 and a month, and he was coming back to serve his country and was willing to take $5,000 less, that's $35,000 as coach of the Black Stars, he expected that he should respect. Even before he came to take over the Black Stars job, he needed to pay off $100,000 to Al Khartoum because he was walking out of a contract. So to him, he was coming to serve his country. So for me to come and serve my country and I'm owed this amount of money and no one is willing to give me a listening ear, no one is willing to sit down with me.
And plus, the FA wrote to him asking him to
return all the things.
For the avoidance of that, what were the things that he was asking?
It was just the car and then the house. And even for the house, it's a bit complex because the house was provided by the Ministry of Housing. So that one is a bit complex. But they used the GFA as the institution that signed him on, the Ministry of Youth and Sports came in. I remember when they were giving him the house, I was at a place that very day when they handed over the house keys and everything to him to move into that house. So when he gave out the car, he also walked out. He also packed his things out of the house. Now, give me what is due me, and that is where the problem is. He'll write to the FA, they will not reply. They will forward it to the ministry will not reply. But let's not forget, the ministry have no binding contract with Kwesi Appiah. Yeah. It's the Ghana Football Association. And in the contract that was signed, it is stated that if there's a dispute between Kwesi Appiah and the Ghana Football Association, it is FIFA who will resolve it. So if he decides to send them the third letter and the GFA refuses to respond again and he decides to walk to FIFA, no one can blame him for that because he has not been given a listening ear.
Great. So good.
Good background.
Good background. Yes.
Very, very good background.
Yes, and this is the part that has not been mentioned throughout the argument. People think it's cut and dried, but these are it's not as if he wants to, as it were, get his pound of flesh. No, he's reacting to something that happened.
Yeah, clearly. What I am also confused about, and maybe I'm going to allow Muftar to get on this, is because he's a special aide to the Minister of Sports, or the Sports Minister.
Yes, that's Kofi Asare-Brakwan.
Kofi Asare-Brakwan, but they did indicate that they had an arrangement to pay him. This was last week. So I want you to confirm or deny that. And then I'll continue.
That's totally untrue. There haven't been any conversation with Kwesi Appiah. I've had the privilege of speaking to people close to Kwesi Appiah. I've had the privilege of speaking to people within the Ministry of Youth and Sport.
There's no arrangement.
There's no such arrangement.
Okay.
All right. So now I can.
Now, what do you make of the personal assistant to the sports minister's comment that if Kwesi should go to FIFA or work to FIFA, that would be a bit ungrateful? George.
That's what I'm
I actually think that was an unfortunate comment to make.
Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong. Did he retract that statement?
No.
He said he was taken out of context.
Out of context.
Okay.
George, come in.
Okay, yeah, I get. Okay, so this is it. Let me start by saying, Gary, if it's about what's stated in the contract, there is no reason why Kwesi Appiah shouldn't be given his money.
Yeah.
There is nothing wrong with Kwesi Appiah pressing for his money.
Exactly.
It's due him. It's due him. It's a contract. Whether he did well with the Black Stars, whether he didn't do well with the Black Stars, he signed a contract for a certain period. And he needs to get his money. This one is clear. First point. So, in trying to let Kwesi Appiah relax a bit, you have to be careful with what you say. But, Gary, some of these statements, and maybe we'll still go back to it, because some of these statements raise so many questions. For me, it appears that there was some kind of favor from what the aide to the sports minister has been saying.
Yeah.
Now, even though he says he has been taken out of context, I feel that there is something somewhere. It feels like there was a certain favor that was done Kwesi Appiah in the process of being appointed Black Stars coach, and that is something that the ministry, through their spokesperson, is trying to hint and saying that, but we helped you before. So now, what kind of help went in there? Now, this is actually going to bring a larger conversation.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted the show to go.
Yes, because I remember Kwesi Appiah, when he was given the job, there were some rumors that he's the favorite son of the president. We had seen so many pictures of Kwesi Appiah visiting the president. And it was one time I was asking, why this coach visits the president than any other coach we have had? But all of that aside, my question is, what kind of help
are they talking about?
Because it looks like there was some kind of help. And based on that help, the ministry won't suggest to Kwesi Appiah, say, my friend, we helped you. You can't come and be taken out of FIFA and be doing all of these things. Even your contract. I'm just trying to say this, because if you listen to the tone with which
they're speaking,
that tone tells you that something went on. And my question is, what went on? If they are bold enough to tell us what went on, then we can go back and have this discussion very, very well. It will give us an idea to how some of the appointments were made. And when we sit on air, we have to speak to the facts, and we have to speak because we have evidence, and we are talking. That's why I've opened it by saying that
it's actually very difficult to comment.
No, I know.
Because
I know.
Just a simple phone call for Kwesi Appiah to come back.
Yeah.
And that phone call...
that was a big phone call.
Yes.
Big phone call.
Yes.
Okay. No further comment. But that phone call...
No, Mufta, because that is why...
I think that at this point, a lot of listeners are quite aware that Kwesi Appiah's second coming was something that was done because...
People say it was more political than...
No, not even the political, but there was a sense that it was time for a Ghanaian to take charge of the team after everything that had gone on with Abraham Grant and everything. You know, there was a groundswell of opinion from a lot of opinion leaders that there was, and at that time, because he was the last person to lead the team and the circumstances under which, of course, he left, which weren't too great, people felt like, you know what, this man has some finished business. And so let's give him the opportunity to.
But even he's living there. One interesting thing people hardly even talk about.
The first one or the
first one.
Yeah.
He was paid a huge severance package.
To leave.
Huge to leave.
Yeah, I remember that.
The FA gave it to him.
Yeah. Because it was out
when he qualified the country to the World Cup, he was given huge bonuses for qualifying the country. A little over $350,000.
Yeah.
Was the money given to him for qualifying the country to the 2014 World Cup.
Charlie.
Then a second coming came. An improved contract was handed to him, well signed. And I said it was signed by the former president Kwesi Nyantakyi and Alex Asante.
Yeah.
These are the people who signed the contract for Kwesi Appiah. But before that was done, Kwesi Appiah's agreement was actually done in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, prior to the CAF elections. Where Kwesi Appiah, from my understanding, had flown to Addis Ababa. You were there to cover it.
I was there.
I don't know if you met him there.
Let's continue.
That is where the contract was signed. That's where every single agreement was signed. So, what actually really happened for people to be portraying that, they did him a favor, just maybe they're in a certain position to have an understanding of some of the things that transpired. Because there was a general belief that, Kwesi Appiah had done well, we are moving from Ghana beyond aid and all that.
Exactly.
So we needed one of our own to lead us. Yeah. And Kwesi Appiah,
I think the government mantra at the time was believe in Ghana.
Believe in Ghana, actually.
It was believe in Ghana.
And that is the same thing that actually happened that brought C.K. Akuno to the office. When the FA were actually interested in bringing, they went to the Jubilee House, they were told, no.
We are pursuing the Ghana first on the agenda.
You see, Gary, I've said we have to be very concerned about how the coaches get the job.
The job, because it informs how
they are treated
and how they are kicked out.
That is it.
Yes.
I don't know if you get.
But Mustafa, do we do that to foreign coaches?
No,
that's the question.
No, that's what I'm saying. That
let's focus on the local one.
Let's focus on the local one. But because how many times have you heard a foreign coach saying that they have not been paid and blah blah blah? All these things won't happen. It happens to the local coaches because maybe we need to check how the appointments are done. Because I remember it was the second coming of Kwesi Appiah. They said they had interviews and Hugo Bruce and Kwesi Appiah met the best and he.
I think there were 8 coaches.
There were 8 coaches.
Or 7 coaches or something.
But they interviewed the
three.
Three.
The final 3.
Sanyol,
yes.
Kwesi Appiah, and then Hugo Bruce.
Hugo Bruce, yes.
And one was via Skype or so.
I remember for many Ghanaians were like, wow, Kwesi Appiah beat Hugo Bruce. And it meant that he was champion.
Yeah.
And so if you've done an interview and you got your money and you got the job and they have to pay you, let them go. Sports Ministry should not even have the guts to come on air to come and talk about this. Imagine the Sports Ministry owing Abraham Grant and coming on air to say, we have done you a favor and this is not the way you have to treat us. Come on. If you are owing me, you just pay my money. Or you find a way of making me keep quiet. You don't come back on radio and come and say, but we have done so much for you. This is the coach. I heard Abate saying, we have done so much for you. We have favored you so much. There are so many things you have done and it's time for you to reciprocate that. Now that is why I'm asking.
And George, I have a little reservation about that. Kwesi Appiah has been playing for the country since 1981.
You see, Musta, when I started, I said.
So who did who a service?
Yes, Musta, I said when I started, I said he must be paid.
Yeah.
Because he has worked for it. My question is, what gives?
Why do they feel?
Why does the sports ministry feel that he's not supposed to be treating them this way because they have done a favor? And my question is, what kind of favor is this?
You see,
that is what I'm trying. Is it
if
that
the
president
wanted to
helped
go
you
to FIFA, he would have gone long ago.
Long ago, yes.
He would have. The first letter you didn't reply. Second letter he sent it to you without reply. That was when the lawyers said, if they are not going to reply, let's go to FIFA. And he said, let's give them a third time. That is why a letter is going to be sent to the FA again this week.
Yes, but
so if Kwesi Appiah is that ungrateful, why is he so patient? Since August last year to May, how many months?
Okay, you don't get it.
We are probably even going.
You know why they are not responding? Perhaps
9 months.
They are not responding because of that established favor relationship.
Yeah.
They think that things must be done the way it was done before. You see, it's important. And I'm saying
let me explain something.
We may see another Black Stars coach.
Yeah,
we may see another Black Stars coach run into a situation like this, especially when it comes to a local coach or a Ghanaian coach. It's very, very important because this won't happen to a foreign coach. It won't happen to him.
It's actually very important we put on record that when Kwesi Appiah was the coach of the Black Stars, one thing was very essential. What they usually do was that it even had to take Kwesi Appiah to place a call to the boss of GMPC just to pay the money.
Mm-hmm.
Why would I be working and at the end of every blessed month I need to call the boss to pay the money?
Yeah.
So we are looking at a man who was already being maltreated even before this situation came up. Every blessed month, he will pick a call, place it to the Chief Executive Officer of GMPC. Oh, please, the month has ended. It's been so, please pay. And then the money is sent to the ministry. The ministry puts it in his account. Should we not go beyond the situation where we are going through, there's a chain of how I'm going to get the money, where there's a sponsor for the coach, instead of someone deciding that, okay, I'm going to pay the coach. What about if the person doesn't have money?
Yeah, Musa, do you know when you can demand that? You can demand that. You can look right in the face of the Ghana Football Association or the sports ministry and tell them that if you guys don't have a said way of paying me, I will leave the job. But do you have the guts? The question
and that's why we don't have it.
That's what I'm saying. That do you have the guts as a coach, especially if they have done you a favor? You should understand that, Musa. You should understand that all these. I really
this
want.
This was a man who allowed $5,000 to go and accepted $35,000.
You are not getting me.
So what makes it a favor?
But I could argue.
Yes. Yeah.
I could argue. This 5,000 thing you're talking about. That was, what's the name of the team again? Al
Khartoum.
Al Khartoum.
Yes.
I mean, the kind of exposure Ghana will give you as Ghana national team coach is worth that 5,000 a month. So there, it's not like he cut his salary. Yeah. Even if he were paid $20,000 as Ghana national team coach, representing Ghana at an AFCON, as he did.
Yes.
Versus Al Khartoum representing their club in the CAF Champions League or CAF Confederations Cup. I mean, that is something you can. So
on a purely exposure basis, very true. Even Avram Grant used our Black Stars to relaunch his career and was appearing on biggest of platforms.
And Kwesi Appiah wasn't the only Ghanaian coach. That is another thing you have to
realize.
He wasn't the only qualified Ghanaian coach.
He was not
at the time.
He was not.
That's another one.
He was not.
Especially when he had a stint already. And I remember Abate saying that the second time he had to come in. I'm just saying, if we can define the favor, then it will help us.
I don't know in which capacity Abate is speaking. Whether as a PA of the minister or the spokesperson of the ministry. That I cannot tell.
Okay.
But we need to draw the line between speaking in the capacity as spokesperson who knew the ins and outs of the agreements before he was hired, and someone who just came in recently and been told what happened, or probably been told what happened.
Yeah.
We need to draw that line. When that line is clearly drawn, then we can appreciate what Abate is sending across.
Okay, you see,
if let's say the ex-spokesperson was speaking, Elvis Ajeba, he was in there. He knew what was happening before Kwesi Appiah was hired, because he was the spokesperson of the ministry under Neil and Van der Poel. So he knew the inside out of the agreement between the FA, the ministry, and Kwesi Appiah. But Abate is speaking as someone who is PA to a minister. And that is a clearly different role altogether. If you are speaking, you are not speaking for the ministry, you are speaking for the minister.
Okay.
But with the same minister.
It's the same minister.
Anyway. And they'll be handing over notes. Now, Gary, you see, this is it. Now, if we don't sort out this favor issue, okay, we may have another problem with the same kind of problem for a Black Stars coach. It is good. Look, I'm saying that they must pay his money. He has the right to take them to FIFA. He has the right to do everything to take the money away. But it's also important for us to find out what that favor is and ensure that that favor doesn't come again, so that whoever the Black Stars coach is would have the right to demand. And look, there were so many occasions I heard Kwesi Appiah is being owed 3 months. Kwesi Appiah is being owed 6 months. Kwesi Appiah is this. All of that was happening, and I'm saying because of that in coach's favor. Now they have stretched the favor to a certain level that Kwesi can't handle it again. And now Kwesi says, give me my money. Favor or no favor. And they're saying the favor is still there. This is what we are going to. So, Migari, I'll be happy if we can define the favor. What was the favor?
And then we move from there. All right. So 20 minutes to the top of the hour. We spent about 15 minutes on this one. Yeah, 15 minutes on this one. Now, next with the Black Stars,
yes.
We heard this weekend that Hervé Renard says that he has unfinished business basically with the Black Stars. It's not the best of times for this comment to come, considering the love that a lot of Ghanaians, have for him, and the belief they have in his ability to deliver an AFCON. I'm not sure what that belief is predicated on, but I can hazard a guess as to the fact that he's won 2 AFCONs with 2 different countries, and he's been able to do it in 2 different circumstances. He spoke to TV3, and he said that he basically has unfinished business with the Black Stars. He would like to come and help us win that elusive trophy. Yeah. George.
Yeah. Thank you.
I mean, it's not a good time because CK Akona is now settling.
Yeah.
CK just has his first official interviews last week, and now this is on his neck.
So there is pressure on, there'll be some kind of pressure on CK, but I think we should allow CK to do the job. We've started something, and I think we have to try and believe what we have. Now, if Hervé Renard had the touch of winning AFCONs, then he should have won it with Morocco in 2019, and we saw that. So
2017.
Yeah. Is it 2017? Yeah.
It was 2017.
Okay. 2017. He didn't even win. No, was it 2017 or 2019?
He won the 2012 one for Zambia.
Yes.
2015 for Cote d'Ivoire.
Yes.
That was when they beat Ghana.
Okay.
2017 he took Morocco.
Yes, Morocco.
But 2019
was there.
I
think it was there in 2019. Yes.
That was when they went out quickly.
Was Benin beat them?
Yes.
Morocco. Yes. 2019.
Yes.
So 2019.
With the VH and all that.
Yes. So there is no.
It is not hard. There's no hard and fast rule that he's going to win the AFCON for us.
And so let's just hold on. Okay.
I have a lot of comments on that.
Yeah. Let's just hold on that. I think we should support CK Akona. He's in charge. Let's give him the opportunity to develop the team, what he wants to do. Let's give him the chance. Let him breathe. Let him go through his contract. When you're done, you go in. Sometimes this formula of winning AFCONs can be very, very, very funny. Very, very, very funny. And when you think you know the formula to win an AFCON, it will surprise you. Sometimes you may not even win the AFCON with your best team or with the best coach. It happens. So let's keep it. And for me, what is more important is not just about winning the AFCON, but having a proper team setup. Yeah. So that we have a team that is good enough to make it to the final, to make it this year's final, to make it in next year's final, and over and over again.
Consistently win some team.
That's what I need.
Yeah.
That's what I need.
Comments on this one were plenty.
Yeah.
I so many. Let me read about 3 minutes worth of comments. Dion Didi on Twitter says, no matter how good he is, Ghanaians won't have patience for him because of our selfish individual interest. Everybody wants his player in the Black Stars, and some journalists won't let him work in peace. We have a long way to go, honestly. Hervé is not that easy here. Aidan 842 says, Mr. Renard, think about it carefully, because you don't get all the necessary command you want to. When you hear Ghana run, think about it again. 1 man 1,000 AK at Black Friday is tweeting at black_Friday. Says, we can pay him. Avram grant $40,000 safe. See how people complain in this country. He says, can we pay him? Sorry.
Okay.
Can we pay him? Even Avram grants $40,000 safe. Can we see how people complain in this country? This one is L. Liver says, he is the best coach who can lead us to our first trophy for the last 37 years. Noble Jude says, what exactly is he doing differently that these are indigenous coaches cannot do? Eric Sano says, come on, Ghana FA. There's no better manager in the world to get Ghana back on track. This guy is an African football genius. Hashtag Kwesi Appiah. No, what is it? Hashtag Kwesi Appiah did his best, but it's not enough. What kind of hashtag is it? James Real Abna 11 says, I can't wait to see him tactically. He is there and has achieved big on the continent.
Anyway, Gary, yeah, because that Moroccan team looked good.
They looked good. Yeah, they were tactically. In fact, many of us tipped them to be. Yeah.
For the World Cup, they were good too. Yeah.
Barry Mister says, Hervé Renard is better than our last three coaches, all combined. Say Olele Loaded says, Jamie Lannister. This guy looks like Jamie Lannister of Game of Thrones. Adamu Asimiwinu says, Ghanaians will be proud of you. Please come and coach us. Chris Keja says, this is so not fair to CK that Hervé's comments are coming at this time. Don Castillo says, I honestly think he should have been the head coach. It's been long overdue. Akwesi Kisi says, this man better pass CK Akono. I don't know why we can't go for him. Ehlom Ahaji says, stop pushing things, Hervé. When it's right, we will come for you. So this is a selection of comments, and this is largely what people think.
Gary,
people are splitting.
You know what I think?
Tell me.
He should go to bed.
Oh.
Sleep. Think about it over and over again. And pray that the leadership of Ghana football changes. I'm saying this based on the fact that now we want to go local. We want to use our own. We want to empower our own. And if Hervé Renard actually wants to come and coach the Black Stars, maybe I'm not even sure any technical position would be available, because this is administration that is so interested in growing the potentials of our own. So it will be very, very difficult for them to rescind that decision and say, because we want to win the AFCON, we are bringing Hervé Renard, when there is no guarantee that Hervé Renard is coming to do it. Let's not forget, 2012, we brought in Goran Stevanovic. He had mentioned that if he goes to the AFCON and fails to win it, he was going to resign. I remember that press conference vividly after Ghana failed.
It's the most brutal press conference I've ever seen. It was at once scary and a bit shameful for them, because the media came with blood and knives.
Yeah. At him.
He
was asked to resign. They asked him to move on.
I mean, they came to attack him.
It was more of an attack than even a press conference. So you cannot guarantee that if you come, you are going to win the AFCON for us. Yeah. Moreover, I'm not sure we'll be willing, just maybe in the near future when our economy is in a shape that we can pay him $100,000.
Economy matter.
We'll pay. Because at this point, when he was at Morocco, he was taking about $75,000. Mm-hmm. Now he's in Saudi. How much are they giving to him? Oil money? Do we have that here?
Paycheck?
Do we have that here?
Oh, he's going to take a pay cut, sorry.
Yeah, maybe if he's willing to take a pay cut of $20,000, $25,000, that would be fine. Yeah. He might be part of our technical team from afar. Something I cannot even see happening.
But no matter how bad he is, Hervé Renard will know that Ghana is still a top draw.
Yes, he knows. And Gary, for me, I'm just looking at it this way. I'm like, we are hoping to build our coaches. I hope we understand what it means to build our coaches. Yeah, that's one thing. I hope we understand what it means to build our coaches to the level. If we have decided that we want to build our coaches, then we are looking at what the late Sajafo Kwame Nkrumah did with the likes of CK Jenfi, giving them the opportunity to go out there, study stuff, give them the opportunity to go out there and see how it is done there. I've said one thing, Gary, and I don't like saying that. Look, if you were taught by a fantastic teacher, if I was your social studies teacher, after teaching you, Muftar comes to teach you social studies. You, the student, can easily tell who the better teacher is. And so, if we have decided to go the way of growing our local coaches, then we must understand what we must do there. Because the other thing about Hervé Renard is, look, he's got experience of winning the Africa Cup of Nations. That's for one. We know that he handled the Morocco team itself. So it's good that we want to go with CK. We want to go with our own coaches. But we must understand that we need to give them that exposure,
a proper grounding.
Because the Black Stars, like it, for Ghanaians, even when they say we won't support the Black Stars again, they are hiding in the kitchen and with one eye checking. So the Black Stars is not really it's not there for experiment. You can't be experimenting with the Black Stars. Anytime the Black Stars jump into the AFCON, they are waiting for the trophy.
But George, one thing you saw
what happened last time in the AFCON. Gary, you remember?
I do.
When Benin beat Morocco and Ghanaians had drawn a chart. There was a chart of how we're going to win the AFCON, I'm telling you. And we have not even played against Tunisia then.
And we'll beat Tunisia.
And we'll beat this, and we'll meet this, and we thank God this is
of never losing to Tunisia came up and all that.
Yes. So we should tell you that in as much as we want to push our coaches, if we are not ready to give them all that they need to handle the Black Stars, we have to be careful because the Black Stars is not for experimentation.
But George, one thing I think we've often overlooked is that when Ghana was winning the AFCON, there was a conscious effort to win it.
Yes.
When CK Jenfi was taken to Germany to go and do his technical studies and all that, it was a conscious effort from the director of football, Mr. Ohinijan, and the then president, Kwame Nkrumah. It was a conscious effort to ensure that he was well built to do it. He won the AFCON in 63, he won it in 65. Then came Mr. Osam Dodu to win it for us in 1978. But prior to that, let's not forget, we had hired foreign coaches because we wanted them to come and impart knowledge on our coaches. The British coach that was brought in, Mr. Ainsley, he was one of the first coaches we brought into this country. Mm-hmm. He imparted knowledge. He wanted us to do it. When the government of Ghana decided to send Chris Bruins to Germany, it was a conscious effort for him to go and learn and come back and teach us. Yeah. The other coaches we had later all understudied CK Jenfi. You cannot forget about Cecil Jones Atukofio not understanding CK Jenfi. You cannot talk about Osam Dodu not understanding CK Jenfi. When we were going for the 1982 African Cup of Nations in Libya, there was another conscious effort from the government led by Jerry John Rawlings for us to go and win this tournament. And it was done. When CK Jenfi was brought back to coach the team, Osam Dodu, who had won the tournament in 1978, was used as his assistant.
No, this is what was done for Kwesi Appiah.
We are now in an era where,
we are saying it more.
We say, why should we invest in them? If we don't invest in them, then the results we are also looking for, we will not get. When we invested in 3 coaches, or let me say two coaches, because Osam Dodu and CK Jenfi, they are the only coaches to have won the tournament for us. When we invested in those coaches, we won the tournament. Now it is the time for us to take that conscious effort of saying that we want to get it done. Where are we going to understudy the best technical brains so that we can win?
Even more importantly is that the gap is wider than it was before. I mean, when you look at it, so we need to invest.
We need to close that gap.
Yesterday, GTV showed Ghana versus Norway.
Yes.
1995. Oops. And a lot of people on Twitter were lamenting the drop in quality.
Yeah.
Not even the way, not even the players on the field. Yeah. The way they even played the football.
Yeah. Yes.
Ball, trapping the football, laying the pass. Control. Movement. Yeah. Abedi Pele, Yaprekon, Tony Aboa, the trio. Malam Yaya playing behind them. The movement, incredible.
Yeah.
And it just goes to show how far we have come before.
So we need to really invest.
Yeah, we really need to invest.
And if we really want to go back there again.
Now, let's move on to other things. To finish the show tomorrow, we've been promoting a show we are having.
Yeah.
On the Joy News channel.
Yeah.
But we have a few comments. Let's get them out of the way.
Okay.
Our listeners, yes.
Which one?
Anyone I appreciate with George. Yeah. Jerry from Mozilla.
I appreciate it when George keeps probing about the quest for what that favor was. Jerry Mozilla, he's asked, oh, wow.
Yes, we need to know. I'm not going to stop. I want to know what it is.
This one is from Moses of Medina.
He says, across our shoulders in Senegal, who have stuck with Aliou Cisse, and he's doing well with them. Get a good technical director, or better still, directorate, and ensure we develop style of play for our national teams. Moses from Medina, he's saying that. And then there's also this one from, just a moment. Yes.
He's just informing us that he's listening in Kumasi.
Listening in Kumasi.
I'm listening to you live from Osei Menu, aka Sentence, inside Fimesuya in Kumasi. Thank you, Sentence, for doing the listening. But what are your thoughts on what we are discussing? That's a bit, more important for us. So let's know what your views are.
This one too
says
Kwesi Appiah must begin to look for his political godfathers who offered him the job, and stop demanding the money. Political appointments and assignments will always expose you. There are secret agenda behind his appointment. Why was he silenced all this while when he was still the coach of the Black Stars? Maybe he just chose to keep quiet.
It's another one to get worried about.
Peter T from Shukra.
It's another one to get worried about, because when you started allowing yourself to be owed by the Ministry of Sports, and now they're extending it, it's becoming a problem. Please do give his money. Why? And then let's find out what the favor is.
No. I'm not sure we are ever going to find out that one.
I need to find the favor.
Kelly from Osu.
That data is coming from Kelly in Osu. He's saying
please add.
We should add John Murray and who?
Alan Green to the panel for tomorrow's show.
Okay.
You want to kill us now?
So yeah.
Don't worry, Alan Green on the BBC.
Yeah. So let's go on to that as well. Interesting. We are going to have a talk about COVID-19 and what football will be, what we should expect. We are just seeing on Twitter right now that the Premier League, that's from the Daily Mail, have agreed to start playing football this week.
So they'll start training.
They'll start training on that's what
Tuesday.
The vote has said. We don't know whether it's going to be ratified or it's going to start that quickly, but that's going to be
the official statement is actually on the Premier League Twitter handle,
and
they have indicated that the teams or the real shareholders have unanimously voted that
they want to play.
They should start training tomorrow.
So
they can start training tomorrow. But Gary, just before that, there's this comment. He says that, Gary, I was appalled by the comments of the special assistant to the minister. The man is owed his due. Just pay him and let him move on with his life. Is it the talk of a politician in him? How time changes. Is it the same person who was sitting on the Semper Studios? Oh, come on. I'm not sure I want to be the conveyor belt of this your comment, Godwin.
You started well, but you just went into the politics. Like we said, tomorrow we have quite a few guests. Kwabena Yeboah will be our guest as well, and we have Robert Marawa from Marawa TV these days. He's no more with Super Sport. He'll be with us, and there are two others.
England's beautiful. I'm just back from a 40-mile bike ride in the English countryside, so what could be better than that on a glorious early summer afternoon? Perfect.
Well, I mean,
I'd much rather be watching football, of course, but as that's not necessarily an option in the competitions that I work on, cycling is the next best thing, so I'm very happy with that.
Exactly. You're talking about competition you are working on. When was your first commentary gig, Josh?
Oh, you have to go back to the mists of time. 1984. You make me feel very old. I was only 19 at the time. It was Leyton Orient against York City in one of the lower leagues for a local BBC radio station. My first national commentary would be around about 1989, 1990. My first World Cup, first of 8 of them so far, 8 and counting, was 1990. So I've been doing this quite a long time. But I'm still full of enthusiasm for the broadcasting and for the football, and indeed for joining you on Tuesday night on PM Express on Joy News, 9 o'clock Ghana time. It's ringed in red in my diary. I'm building towards it.
So that is...
I'm building towards it.
And
that's John Champion speaking there.
If you miss this one, wait till you get.
Yeah. So we are looking forward to having a very good discussion. I mean, a privilege for us to be able to assemble him and...
It's good. Aqua Abba from Southeast England. Really good to have you with us here. I can't wait to be with you on PM Express Tuesday night, Joy News. We're ready for that. I hope we'll have some fun. I hope we'll be informative. We might even have some more news for you by then. I hope it's positive news.
Exactly. So, thank you, and we'll see you on Tuesday, yeah?
It's a date. See you then.
That is Peter Jury. He'll be joining us tomorrow at 9 p.m. So those four, Peter and John, it's not like, when we were growing up, Peter and John have toy dogs.
And there was even a poem about them.
Yeah. So Peter Jury and John Champion and Robert Mawawa and Kwabena Yeboah, particularly looking forward to listening to Kwabena Yeboah. We know his ball boy story, but he's promised to give us a few backstories.
That we don't know.
So the writer Kwabena Yeboah and the other three will be joining us on PM Express. That should be tomorrow. And guys, are we looking forward to it?
Oh yeah,
big one, big night. The night that will bring everything in terms of production, in terms of quality.
Slow down. 1:59 is approaching 2, and NS Kojo Minu is here with the news at 2. Many thanks for your time here on the Joy Sports Track. Let's do this again next week. Bye-bye.